Streisand, but if you Google Everybody Says Don't, it's like Jen Colella sings it, Sutton Foster, Patti LuPone, and then Barbra Streisand. She fucking loves that song. And for good reason, because I don't know if you've like ever tried to tell Barbra Streisand not to do something. It's real hard to do. I've never done it personally, but like, I could imagine. And probably my favorite example of like you do you, even at work. You know, sometimes you have to do stuff you don't like, but like, it doesn't mean you have to do it like their way. Like you can still be you while doing what they want you to do. And my favorite example of that, excuse me, I had poke with jalapeno in it for dinner. Which I knew I was singing later. Why would I get jalapeno? Whatever. But my favorite example of Barbra Streisand doing whatever the fuck she wants to do was actually introduced to me by Katya Malarski, who tossed me this jacket at the beginning of the show. But also, this was like 2 years ago maybe, at your apartment in Harlem.
Probably.
And we had on our matching festive holiday sweaters. And we were making latkes. This is shaving potatoes if you've never made latkes.
Is that what that is?
So we were shaving. I'm not Jewish. Awesome. I'm trying. And so we were shaving potatoes, but listening to Christmas music because we're an inclusive family. That's what we do. And out of the corner of my ear, I hear the most fucked up version of my favorite things. Like the raindrops on roses, and for some reason it went like this: whiskers on kittens. Like it turned minor. And so it was like a James Bond version of my favorite things.
Whispers.
It's like it is insane. Which, by the way, that is not a Christmas song. Fight you on it. It's a story for another show.
But she's Jewish.
So
it's fine.
What we were doing is what I said was I was like, Kat, what is this? Like, what's happening? And she's like, oh my God, have you never heard Barbra Streisand's Christmas album? And I was like, of course I've heard Barbra Streisand's Christmas album, but not this. And she's like, no, this is the first one from 1967. So it was like older than me. And by a little. So I was like, well, Kat, no, I've never heard it. And she was like, you have to download it and listen to it. So I did on Spotify. Sorry, Apple Brew. My bad. And I listened to it. And after listening to the whole album, you can very clearly hear the conversation that happened at the record label. I'll do it for you now. It went, Barbra, you're hot right now. We need you to do a Christmas album. No. No, Barbra, it's not really an option. You're under contract. Fine. But I'm gonna fuck them all up though. And she does. And she did. And how. And so I know it's not even Halloween yet. I'm gonna do a Christmas song.
Yes.
It's my show.
I can't believe you're doing
We're gonna
this.
do a Christmas song.
Get it.
So here is what happens. Actually, before I tell you what this happened, I told you there's a song in it just for you. Before we do this, please know that I transcribed this by ear because the sheet music doesn't work. So it's in Barbra Streisand's key, and I am not going to add or subtract any notes or sounds that you hear. This is actually what happens when you ask Barbra Streisand in 1967 to sing Jingle Bells. It's for you, Cal. Jingle bells, jingle jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. We're dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it is to sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride. And soon Annie Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank. Misfortune seemed its lot. We got into a drifting bank, and then we got upset. Upset? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the fields of white on this stormy Christmas night. Off we go through the snow. Bells are ringing, we'll be singing. Jingle bells, jing, jangle. Jingle bells, jing, jangle. Jingle bells, jingle. Jingle bells, jing, jangle. Jingle bells, jingle. All the way on a one-horse open sleigh. How fucking bonkers is that? Like, the producers had to be like, or the executives, I mean, had to listen to that and be like, what did you do?
And she starts the album with it.
Yeah, oh, that is how she starts the album. By the way, this album, back in 1967, like when you used to have to like leave your house and go to buy music, and then you couldn't listen to it until you got it home, it sold 5 million albums.
Yes.
In 1967!